Recording in progress.
Good morning. Let's go ahead everybody. Chalo. So we have covered suspension also. है ना बच्चों? Suspension of registration, that also we had covered. To do about cancellation of registration, है ना? Cancellation of registration. What reasons we saw for cancellation or suspension? That he is not doing business from the place declared. Then he is just supplying बच्चों invoices without actual supply of goods or services. Then the returns are not filed for 6 months. है ना बच्चों? Isn't it? Those reasons we had seen. Yes, all of you? And or registration was obtained by fraud or willful misrepresentation, concealment, etc. Okay? So those cases बच्चों we had seen. Alright. Yes, we were talking about बच्चों when suo motu, correct, pay attention. When the taxpayer himself is applying for cancellation of registration. What is the reason बच्चों first of all? Cancellation. He is, let us say, no more liable under section 22 as well as 24. Okay, all of you? He is no more liable under section 22 or 24. So he is cancelling his registration. His turnover has come below the limits. He is not doing interest or anything. Hai na? So he is winding up his business, etc. So in that case, he is cancelling the registration. So here what did we understand or learn? When he is applying for cancellation, that time he has to submit a statement of all the stock remaining with him. Of which one? Raw materials, then your WIP, works in progress, as well as finished goods. है ना बच्चों? Why? Because on those items he had claimed ITC, and now once he is winding up or he will dispose these assets, basically he'll have to pay back that ITC or reverse the ITC already claimed. Understood earlier? Sure. So let's check. So, see, again, as soon as your registration is cancelled, I'm talking of cancellation, then you will not get access to the GST common portal. Okay, are you getting my point? Your access is withdrawn, na? Or that number is no more, you can say, no, you can't use it. So the access is withdrawn. So how will he pay the GST liability on the raw materials? Are you getting my point? First of all, why raw materials? Because you've already claimed ITC and now you are not selling those items. So to pay back that ITC. Okay. Now how he will be able to pay back only if his login ID or access to the portal is alive, or you can say active. So what will happen is some rights will be given to him to pay off that liability. Right means what? Access of the portal. Okay. So amount payable on cancellation of registration. Pay attention now, 29, 5 and 6. A registered person whose registration is cancelled will have to debit the electronic credit or cash ledger. Okay. Now what are those cash ledgers and credit ledger, that you will understand. But simply if at all I use the word credit ledger, hai na? What do you think by bachcho? It means I'm talking about my ITC. Hai ki nahi? See, I can pay off my liability using two things. Setting off my ITC, and if balance is there, I will pay off cash. Agreed or no? This is what little bit of basics of calculation we had done in first chapter also. That I first reduced ITC, na? And if there is still some balance payable, I will pay that bachcho in cash. Clear earlier? So here I will debit my credit ledger. So basically I'll reduce the ledger, I'll reduce the credit, I'll reduce the input tax credit, as well as bachcho, otherwise also I can reduce my cash amount to pay off the liability. But how much is the liability? Please understand now. Okay, ready? Chalo. To an amount equal to ITC in respect of stock of inputs and inputs contained in semi-finished, finished goods stock. Hai na? Stock of inputs and inputs contained in semi-finished or finished goods stock. Hai na? Or capital goods and plant and machinery on the day immediately preceding the date of cancellation. Pay attention. ITC in respect of capital goods or plant and machinery. Agreed earlier? Capital goods or plant and machinery. Do we use them or no, bachcho? Capital goods or plant and machinery. Do we use them or no? Yes. So just for the sake of understanding, please understand now. Pay attention. Let us say I brought a machinery of 10 lakhs. Okay, everybody? Net of taxes. On that, let us say at 18% I had paid 1.8 lakhs ITC. Is it okay? This is my ITC. Is it okay? I used that machine for 3 years. चलेगा? And pay attention now. After 3 years, I am winding up my business. I am closing the business. So now I had claimed bachcho ITC on this also. Whenever I had purchased that machinery, that time only I had used ITC of 1.8 lakhs. है ना बच्चों? Fine. Now when I am shutting down that business, I have to reverse. Agreed or no? I have to reverse my ITC or basically pay back my ITC. What do you think, bachcho? I should pay back 1.8 lakhs, more than 1.8 lakhs, or less than 1.8 lakhs? What do you think? How much should we pay back the ITC? 1.8, more or less? Anybody?
Recording stopped.
Okay. Just a minute, let me just check on YouTube also. Okay. YouTube वालों लाइक कर दिया करो, लाइक कमेंट सब्सक्राइब.
Recording in progress.
It should be bachcho ideally less than 1.8 lakhs. Why? Because I use also na bachcho that machine for 3 years. हाँ है ना? So in a way, or you can say effectively, I have utilized bachcho that machinery for 3 years. So in a way, I should proportionately be allowed to claim the ITC for the period for which I have used. है ना? For the period for which I have used, I should be allowed. So whatever the remaining life of the asset, that much proportionate ITC I should reverse. See, is it that I am buying today and selling tomorrow, or I am buying the machinery today, I claim the ITC, and immediately I am closing down the business? No. So I use that bachcho machinery for some years, na? So logically, I should also be allowed to use the ITC for that period, the period for which you had used the machinery. Clear till here? Should be allowed. So how much will disallow, or basically how much will you pay back or reverse ITC? The remaining life of the asset. Agree till here? Okay. Or the output tax payable on such goods. Okay. Check. What will you see, but what will you compare? You will compare ITC of such goods, either against stock, regular bachcho, raw trading material, or ITC on capital goods or plant and machinery. Or you will also check how much is the tax payable on such items. It may happen na that ITC was 5%, ITC was at the rate of 5%, but payable on these items is at the rate of 18%. So government is saying there is a loss to us of 18%, hai na? So whichever may be applicable. Check here. Okay, so look at the amount, whichever is higher. So we'll calculate two things, ITC as well as output tax on the same item. ITC already claimed, or output tax applicable on such items, whichever is higher, whichever amount is higher, that will be payable. It may also happen other way around. Input tax credit is at the rate of 18%, but output is at the rate of 5%. Even that may be possible. Yes or no, everybody? Alright, okay? Chalo. So whichever is higher will be calculated. In case of capital goods or plant and machinery, the taxable person shall pay an amount equal to ITC taken on the said capital goods or plant and machinery, reduced by such percentage points as may be prescribed, or the tax on the transaction value of such capital goods or plant and machinery, whichever is higher. Check. For capital goods or plant and machinery, whatever ITC you had claimed, minus some percentage of the ITC will have to pay, or tax on transaction value. Transaction value means, in a way, you can say output value, or supply value, or sale value. Okay, I'll just write down here. How much is payable? Okay, pay attention. Higher of ITC minus, okay, I'm just writing the point, some percentage, है ना, use percentage of used life, I'm writing about used life, or output tax on transaction value. Transaction value means what बच्चों? Sale value. Okay till here? Understood till here all of you? Basically ITC or output, whichever is higher. But when I'm talking of ITC, at least for capital goods, I should be allowed the period for which I have used the asset. हाँ या ना बच्चों, is it okay? Clear till here? You want to write down? Just write down quickly.
Recording stopped.
Done?
Recording in progress.
Okay. The manner of determination of amount of credit to be reversed is prescribed by Rule 44. Okay. On conjunct, that is, you can see conjunction reading of 29 find Rule 44. You can understand now. What check? ITC in respect of inputs calculated in accordance with Rule 44. Okay. Or ITC in respect of ITC in inputs computed proportionally on basis of corresponding invoices on which credit has been availed on such inputs, that we'll see later on, or output on such goods, whichever is higher. So ITC as per Rule 44, that you have to see but later on, or ITC on inputs computed as proportionally on basis of corresponding invoices on which credit has been availed. Okay, or you can say output tax on such goods, whichever is higher. If tax invoices are not available, okay, the ITC to be reversed will be based on prevailing market price. If at all, bachcho, the invoices are not available of those items which you had purchased, okay, ITC will be reversed on the basis of your fair market value, okay, on such goods on the date of cancellation. Now, it may be very old items, or such invoices are not available, you know, that you had claimed so much or so not. See, every month or every tax period, whenever you are doing calculation, you are reducing ITC, output tax minus input tax. You're taking total of input tax credit now. Now it may be difficult, or maybe the accounting is not there, the records are not available, that ITC is belonging to which single item wise it is available or not. That may be very difficult to trace. Okay, everybody. So if that invoice is not available, we will take the fair market value of that goods, whichever is available on the date of cancellation. Accordingly, you will calculate the input tax credit. Fine till here. If invoices are there, very good. If invoices are not there, then based on fair market value. Important. Ready? Amount of credit to be reversed in respect of capital goods or plant and machinery. ITC in respect of capital goods and plant and machinery calculated as per Rule 44. That is what check, bachcho. ITC involved in the remaining, pay attention, useful life in months, not number of days, not number of years, bachcho, in amount of, you will do the calculation as per number of months of the capital goods computed on pro rata basis, taking bachcho useful life of the asset as 5 years. So here bachcho, GST has different logic. It says useful life of the asset is 5 years. Any asset. Okay? Did you understand or no? So let us say I took a plant and machinery. Its actual useful life maybe 3 years, 10 years, we don't care. We will take it as 5 years. Yes, till here, all of you? That means how many months? 12 5 is 60 months. Yes? Pay attention. Now used for 3 years. Hayana? That is 12 to 36 months. Agree till here? है ना? How much will be reverse? Bachcho will reverse the remaining balance useful life. Means what? 60 minus 36. That is how many? 2 years. 12 to the 24 months. Understood or no? 24 months out of 60 months you will reverse on the amount of ITC you had claimed. Did you understand or no? Nitin, tell me. Reverse logic is what? What is not used. Reverse which is not used. So not used, that just calculating number of months. Okay? Divide by 60 months. 60 months you understood why? Because we are taking life as 5 years. Yes, Nitin. 5 years, Kushbu. Accounting treatment, depreciation different. Income tax treatment different. Income tax, GST treatment different. Okay? Okay, everybody? So ITC, okay? Basically of this we have understood. Or tax on transaction value of such capital goods or plant and machinery under section 15. So basically if at all you dump or sell that item as of today, how much tax could be recovered from that item? Hai na? See, it will be sold obviously common sense at fair market value only, or maybe at lower price, whatever it is. We have example to do, but that multiplied with its output tax. So we'll compare the output tax or the ITC to be reversed. Whichever is higher, that much amount you will pay. Clear till here, all of you? I'm repeating. Output tax or ITC to be reversed, whichever is higher. We'll do an example. You have star mark here, bachcho. Check. Capital goods have been in use, bachcho, for 4 years, 6 months and 15 days. Part of the month, bachcho, will be taken as month. Okay? Have they given here? We will do some calculations again. Therefore, bachcho, useful remaining life of the month in months is what? 5 months. So how much will reverse? 5 by 60. Hai na? C is what? ITC taken on the capital goods. Exactly same thing what we had written. Yes, still here? If at all you want. Useful life remaining. Useful remaining life. Yes, in bracket months upon 60 months into ITC, total ITC claimed, है ना? Okay, fine till all of you. Total ITC claimed. So useful life in months upon 60 months into total ITC claimed. Done? Chalo. Other points about cancellation. A person to whom a UIN has been granted cannot apply for cancellation. It will be permanent. Okay? UIN was here for United Nations, consulates, foreign embassies, etc. For cancellation of registration will not affect liability of registered person to pay tax and other dues under the Act for any period prior to the date of cancellation. The cancellation of registration will not affect liability. Will not affect liability. Means what? Whatever you were liable to pay, you have to pay. It does not go away. So the cancellation of registration will not affect liability of registered person to pay the tax and other dues under that for any period prior to the date of cancellation. Okay, whether or not such tax or other dues are determined before or even after the date of cancellation. Some details bachcho were found out later. Some details were bachcho found out later after the date of cancellation. That amount is still payable. Then you are still liable to pay the taxes. Cancellation of registration does not take away the liability. Whatever was existing or whatever even you have come to know about it later on, but you are liable before the tax period. Let us just check an example. Ready? Check. The proper officer cancelled. Pay attention. Proper officer, GST officer, cancelled registration on 11th October. Cancelled. The tax dues of Naman for July-September quarter Q2 है ना, determined by officer on 16th December are rupees 50,000. बच्चों रेशन कैंसल्ड व्हेन 11th October है कि नहीं. The liability for July to September, let us say the taxpayer had not calculated, the taxpayer had not paid. Officer took some time to find out the actual amount payable. Officer found out. Okay. When did he find out, बच्चों? On 16th December. So he is still liable to pay. He is liable to pay after 11th November whatever was his liability before 11th November. He is liable to pay after 11th October whatever he was liable to pay before 11th October. कुछ समझा? So liability will always be there. Whatever liability accrued before the date of cancellation. कुछ समझा कि नहीं? All of you clear? बोलो, Nitin. You'll have to pay. Check now. The cancellation notification shall have no effect on his liability of tax dues of 50,000, even though the tax dues are determined after the date of cancellation. The taxpayer will have to pay 50,000 is what they are trying to say. See, your liability after the date of cancellation will continue. Your liability after the date of cancellation will continue for the liability accruing, generating, originating before the date of cancellation. In the question, the liability which relates to July to September. So that you are still liable to pay even after date of cancellation if you had not paid already. समझा? Clear to लिया? All of you tell me. कैंसिल के पहले का लायबल है और कैंसिल के बाद का भी नॉट रियली, नहीं वैसा नहीं. सी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, if there is any supply after 11th October, it is not possible. Okay, it is not possible to charge GST because your ration has been cancelled. He can make a supply, he can still do a sale, but he will not be registered, he will be considered as unregistered. So whatever supply he does after 11th October, on that, no GST. Yes, clear? See, the thing is, maybe he has not maintained proper books of accounts. है ना? He is a fraud and the details etc. are not available. So officer came to know about it and officer immediately cancelled his registration. Okay? So he is liable, the taxpayer is liable for whatever happened before the cancellation. The payment can be done after cancellation is what they are trying to say. समझा कुछ? कैंसिल के बाद भी लायबल है और कैंसिल के बाद भी लायबल है for the transactions happened before the date of cancellation. Absolutely correct. Okay? After cancellation you are liable for the things done before cancellation. Okay? आगे बढ़े? Star mark. Wherever example, star mark. चलो. Taxpayer would not be allowed by common portal, the GST common portal, to file return for the period after the date of cancellation mentioned in the cancellation order. However, he can submit, pay attention, he can submit the returns of the earlier period. Now, earlier period means which period? The period during which the registration was active. Please pay attention. Again, I repeat. Come back to the same example. Officer cancelled बच्चों on 11th October. है ना? So he should still be given chance. Okay, he cancelled ना? He should still be given chance to file the return of July-September quarter. Are you getting my point or no? He has to pay the liability and all of that ना? है कि नहीं? So whatever has happened before the cancellation date, for that he can do the compliances even after cancellation date. For the period before cancellation, the compliances and payment he can do after cancellation. But common sense now, any you can say tax liability or pay any kind of compliances he cannot do for the month of October, November, December, etc. For the month of October, November, December, etc. Clear? He'll not be able to file, let us say Q3 returns, quarter 3 returns. Right na? Fine? He can submit returns of the earlier period. That is for the period before date of cancellation. Done till here? Next part. Revocation of cancellation of registration. Okay? Revocation of cancellation of registration. Means, can I say reinstated or no? Reinstated. समझा कि नहीं? Reinstated means what? Given back the registration or no? Or cancellation continued? Revocation of cancellation ना? So cancellation cancelled. Cancel. अरे हाँ या ना? Revocation बच्चों cancelled. Okay everybody? So he is given back the registration details or registration बच्चों. Okay? He is given back the registration. है ना? Check. Procedure for revocation or cancellation. When the registration of the person is cancelled suo moto by the officer, such registered person बच्चों may apply for revocation within 30 days from the date of service of order of cancellation. है ना? The said period of 30 days may, on sufficient cause, can be extended for further 30 days. That's it. Okay, that is okay. If the proper officer is satisfied that there are sufficient grounds for revocation, now check, revocation you are talking about. Officer is satisfied that there are reasons for cancellation of cancellation. Okay, he may revoke the cancellation by an order within 30 days of receipt of application. Did you understand? So officer sent notice for cancellation. Taxpayer applied within 30 days. And once the officer gets the reply and he thinks yes, we should revoke, then within next 30 days, bachcho, officer can revoke cancellation. Understood? Otherwise, he may reject the revocation application. Oh, cancel the revocation application. Officer has both the choice now. If he is not satisfied with the reply, or if reply is not given, whatever, the officer can cancel the registration. So he will reject the revocation application. However, before rejecting the application, he has to first issue show cause notice to the applicant, who shall furnish the clarification within 7 working days of service of show cause notice. The proper officer shall dispose the application, that is asked to reject the same within 30 days of receipt of clarification. Is okay. Same thing, 30 days. Okay. So here, the officer wants to cancel, he will show cause notice. The taxpayer needs to reply in 7 days, and then officer needs to take action within next 30 days. Okay? Sorry. Okay, let's take examples. Where registration was cancelled for failure of registered person to furnish returns. So it is not a very big crime. It is a crime or an issue, but not very big. He is not doing a big fraud or supplying only invoices. He is not filing returns for 6 months. Whatever period we are given over here. So here, bachcho, the taxpayer can file all the returns, pay all the taxes, duties, liabilities, interest, etc., late fee, and then bachcho again he will be allowed to reinstate the registration. है ना? So check. Where registration was cancelled for failure of registered person to furnish returns. Okay? Before applying for revocation, the person has to make good all the defaults. That is, file returns, pay any amount tax of due, interest, penalty, late fee. However, the registration may have been cancelled by the officer either. However, the registration may have been cancelled by the proper officer either important from the date of order of cancellation or even from a retrospective date. Means what? Backdated, है ना? The officer found something problematic, so he might have cancelled बच्चों with effect from last 3 months or 4 months or 5 months. Okay? Now what happens is the next party बच्चों, no, we are talking about officer cancelling retrospectively. That is, he is deactivating the GST IN from a retrospective date. Now, if it happens with retrospective date, means what are they trying to say? All those transactions are also debarred. All those transactions will be not recognized or not allowed. Okay? Or basically, again I'll repeat, look in this earlier case also what we had done. Whatever was the date from which the officer cancels, or is trying to cancel, from that period onwards, बच्चों, he will not be able to file the returns from the date mentioned in the order for the period which is mentioned in the order, for the period from the date mentioned in the order. Means what? Again here, bachcho, look, the order was given on or cancelled from 11th October in the earlier example. So the taxpayer will not be able to file from the period of 11th October, for the period after 11th October. Hai na? Ha. So here, let me just give you an example. Order of bachcho is, let us say, is given on 1st September, okay, 23, but with retrospective effect, okay, with, let me write down the word, with effect from 1st June 23. Chalega? Are you all understanding? So which, see, the order is given on here. So please understand there are two things. After 1st September, he can file returns, okay, can file returns. Are you getting my point? But for which period? The order is given on 1st September. That duration is cancelled with effect from 1st June. So after 1st September, obviously you can file returns to make good the loss or make good the default. But you can file return but up to which period? Correct. The period up to 31st May. Or the period just before 1st June. Are you all understanding? Did you understand? So I can file after 1st September. Obviously, I should be given a chance to make good the default. Let us see, but whatever is the effective date? So whatever is the time before the effective date, I can do all the compliances of that period before the effective date. Okay? Or for the period belonging to before effective date. Understood or no? So in September, bachcho, I can file returns up to May 23. Okay? Chalega? Okay. Where the ration has been cancelled with effect from date of order of cancellation immediately. Not backdated. Not backdated. Na check. Cancelled with effect from date of order. Samjha ki nahi? Not backdated and not even prospective. है ना? So, the common portal does not allow furnishing of returns for the period after the effective date of cancellation. Are you getting my point? Haan ya na? But returns for the earlier period can be furnished. Is it clear? Even after cancellation. Ye clear ho raha hai na? All of you clear with this? Bolo? Pakka? Okay. Alright. Where the ration is cancelled from the date of order of cancellation. That means immediately. Not backdated and not prospective. Person applying for revocation has to obviously furnish all the returns na, due till the date of cancellation. Are you getting my point or no? He was still registered na, and GST returns are compulsory. Okay, that also we'll see later on in the chapter of returns. Okay, everybody? Oh, sorry. So if the cancellation order is with effect from today only, so till today, whatever the returns applicable, that you have to file. And with the taxes, interest, penalty, late fee, and then apply for revocation. Okay? to furnish all returns due till the date of cancellation before even applying for revocation. Okay. However, since the portal does not allow to furnish returns for the period after the date of cancellation, all returns due for the period from the date of order of cancellation till the date of order of revocation for cancellation. That means if tomorrow the cancellation is revoked, are you getting my point or no? Everybody? Tomorrow, later on in future, maybe after 15 days, 1 month or 2 months, the revocation is cancelled. Sorry, revocation of cancellation. Hi Anna. So the period for which you could not file the return, you could not now. Why? Because it was under suspension. The period during suspension. Is it okay? For that much period, you will be allowed to file returns. Anna. They have to be furnished within next 30 days from the date of order of revocation. Samjha ki nahi Khushbu? Nitin, okay? If in above example, tell me. I'll continue with this example. Good. Pay attention. First of all, you can file returns for, I'm writing for, up to 31st May 23. Hai na? Chalo. And then let me write down the example, revocation. Revocation of cancellation. Okay? Order. Let us say bachcho passed on 1st December 23. Hai na? So returns belonging to, returns of, check now, 1st June 23 now. Okay? Up to 1st December 23. All of them. Hai na? You have to file that bachcho within 30 days. That is up to 1st January 24. Hi Anna. See, even this period you could not file na beta. Hai ki nahi? 1st June onwards, earlier you could not file. Yes? So whatever is the date of revocation. So from 1st June, in our earlier example, from 1st June to 1st December, whatever was applicable as such, that you need to file within next 30 days. No. With fine, no. Because this is now not your mistake. Okay? No. It will be treated as first return. That we will see later on. Don't worry. Okay? To be furnished, now check from what date to what date? From the date of order of cancellation. Look at the words. All returns due, na? Whatever was pending. You know, because of from the date of order of cancellation till the date of order of revocation, that much needs to be furnished within 30 days of date of revocation. Let's check an example. Naman. The ration of Naman Bachcho work was cancelled by proper officer by an order dated 1st June for its failure to furnish returns. Have they given Bachcho with effect from? No. So we'll take it as Bachcho 1st June only, okay? With effect from 1st June itself. Chalega? The ration was cancelled, given from 1st June itself, no problem. It applied for revocation and the order of for revocation bachcho was passed on 31st July. So bachcho, all the returns from 1st June till 31st July, whatever are liable, he bachcho needs to furnish them up to 30th bachcho what? August. Hai Anna? Hai ki nahi? 30th August. So all returns bachcho between from 1st June till 31st July. Clear till here? He needs to file bachcho that within 30 days. Next 30 days. Done? Where ration has been cancelled with retrospective effect. Hey Ma Mataji. Hai na? Clear? When the ration has been cancelled with retrospective effect, it is not possible to furnish the returns before filing the application of revocation. Hi Anna? Are you getting the point or no? Same example I am telling you. Let us say order was of 1st September, but with effect from 1st June, I can't. So even on 1st September or within next 7 days, whatever, I file the returns. I can't file bachcho return of June to September. Hi Anna? Clear? Okay, check. I am going back to the earlier example. Order was passed on 1st September. But with effect from what? Backdated, retrospective, 1st June 23. Okay, till here? Huh. I am not talking of revocation now, I am talking of cancellation only. Order of cancellation is passed. See, whatever is the effective date of cancellation, the period after that date, you can't do anything about it in the GST portal. That means you can't file return of June, July, August. Clear till here? Fine. Are you getting my point? So same thing I discussed. Order was passed on 1st September. Why? Any reason. Returns not filed, etc. for last 6 months, 8 months, whatever it is. Okay. So order passed by officer, let us say on 1st September. And you have to file all the returns, earlier returns. But you can't file return of June, July, August. Did you understand? See, officer has passed order or no for cancellation. Why? Because you are not filing returns for last 6 months, whatever. Now how will you apply for revocation? For revocation, what is the first step necessary? That you file all the returns. To apply for revocation, what is the first thing you have to do? File all the returns. But of the earlier period, I can't file return of June, July, August. I can file of May, April, March, etc. But I will not be able to file returns of June, July, August. Why? Because that period is covered under cancellation period. Okay? Okay, let's check an example. Okay? So, where the ration has been cancelled with retrospective effect, backdated. Retrospective means what? Backdated. So, ration has been cancelled with retrospective effect. It is not possible to furnish the returns before filing for a revocation application. In that case, the application for revocation of cancellation of registration, my goodness, is allowed to be filed subject to the condition that all returns relating to the period from the effective date of cancellation till the date of order of revocation shall be filed within next 30 days of order of revocation. Bouncer. I'll give you example. Pay attention. Okay? I'll just continue the same as 1st September 23. Order of cancellation. Okay? With effective from. Let us say with effect from 1st April 23. Is it okay? Taxpayer taxpayer applied for revocation. Okay, clear all of you? Now I can just put some more things in the question. The officer cancelled with effect from 1st April 23 because returns not filed. Okay? From 1st April 23. Chalega? All of you okay till here? Chalega everybody? Now when taxpayer applies for revocation, can he file return of April, May, June, July, August? He cannot. Why? So taxpayer applied for revocation. Already filed. I am doing another example now. Okay. What are we doing from long time? Pay attention. ठीक है, रुको. Order of cancellation. This must you are understanding with me. Are you with me till here? ठीक है. Order of cancellation. No problem. That is okay. Order of cancellation. ठीक है. Order. Let us say the order was passed. I am writing a pass date. Passing date. Passing of order date. Let us take it as 1st November 23. चलेगा, है ना? With effect from 1st November 23. Okay. My simple question is, let us say on first, not first, ठीक है, on 1st January 24. Okay. I am still talking about cancellation only. I have not yet revoked cancellation. Is it okay? On 1st January 24, GST return, okay, of October 23 can be filed or not filed. Tell me this. I have not given you any other details. Okay. No, one of them you are saying yes, another saying no. Okay. Pay attention. Look at this date. This date is most important for us. Okay. With effect from. Okay. So my ration is supposed to cancel with effect from what? November 23. Hi Anna. So any period before November 23, I can do all the compliances. I am repeating the same thing again. What? Any period before the date of cancellation. Any period before the date of cancellation. I can do all the compliances, whatever were compliances are pending. Okay? Hi Anna, everybody. So, bachcho, even if some returns are pending, some returns are pending. My returns were pending, that's why he has cancelled the registration, na bachcho, in normal logic. Why did he cancel? My some returns are pending. So I have filed return in the month of January 24, the returns belonging to bachcho before November 23. So GST returns of bachcho October 23 can be filed, allowed to be filed. Hi Anna, allowed. Is it okay? Again, same thing. On 1st November 24, same thing here. है ना? Can I file GST returns of December 23? All of you? Not allowed. Kushbu understood? Why not allowed? Because my registration is cancelled with effect from, not yet revoked. My registration is cancelled with effect from November 23 and not yet revoked. My cancellation is bachcho not yet revoked. Ha ya na? Is it okay? Khushbu, are you with me? Okay. That was the story. Let us say, okay, I'll continue with the same example. Revocation of cancellation order. Okay. Let us say passed on. Chalega? 15th January 24. Okay. हाँ चलेगा ना. Now here बच्चों, revocation of cancellation है बच्चों, order passed by the officer on 15th January. Now what is my duty as a taxpayer? Taxpayer shall file all returns, है ना, from, you tell me बच्चों, from pay नहीं, first of all GST returns. Pay will be there, but I am talking of GST returns now. Shall file बच्चों all returns from which date to which date? from 1/11/23 to 15th January 24, okay, within or up to बच्चों 15th February 24. I'm not making any other calculations, okay. Next month है ना. The order was passed on 15th Jan plus 30 days. Write down this example if you want. Write down. I'll give you time now.
Recording stopped.
Once you're done, let me know, okay? हुआ? ओके, लिखो, ठीक है. हुआ? ओके. हाँ, बोलो बोलो. हाँ, 14 फेब. उसने ऑर्डर 15 का पास किया तो 16 से काउंट करेंगे ना. तो 16 से 30 दिन 15 ऐसा.
Recording in progress.
Okay, let's go ahead. This is your first case, one case only. The only most important point, bachcho, was that with effect from cancellation date is the date of order. Yes. Now, bachcho, let us take another example. Okay. Order cancellation date. Every 1st November 23. Cancellation with effective date. Let us say बच्चों first whatever April had given 23. Reason for cancellation. Returns not filed. For last from whatever. 1st April 23 चलेगा? Is it okay everybody? Return is not filed. Let me first write down the example, I'll give you time. Now, and just for your understanding, okay? So even in December 23, GST return of, let us say any month you take, September 23 can be filed or not filed, allowed or not allowed? Cannot be filed, ठीक है? Or in fact, basically I should write down any return, any GST return for period, है ना, for period from, let us say, April 23 to whatever 31st August 23 cannot be filed. Yes, Chilia? Now one of the laws, but we were checking out, October, correct. One of the laws, bacho, or reason, or you can say point we were checking out, bacho, was that just now we saw, if the officer have given a cancellation order, the reason being GST returns not filed, what is the first thing the taxpayer should do before applying for revocation? Ideally, normally, before applying for revocation, the first thing you should do is file all the returns. If the reason for cancellation is not filing of returns, so the first thing before applying for revocation, the taxpayer shall what? File all the returns. Are you getting my point? Hi Anna. Are you getting my point? So okay. Understand? Therefore, taxpayer, while applying for revocation, cannot file GST returns up to, let us say, up to period of 1st November 23. I'm saying up to, okay? He can't file, current year also, but that way. So this becomes a kind of a non-compliance, that you're applying for revocation, but you are not filing returns. Why are you not filing returns? Because you cannot file returns. Why you cannot file returns, bacho? Because my period has been cancelled. The period for which you want me to file returns, I cannot file, because my ration has been cancelled for that period. Understood? So taxpayer, bacho, while applying for revocation, cannot file returns. Therefore, okay, in that case, pay attention. In that case, what will happen? Taxpayer needs to file all returns from 1st April 23, okay, within 30 days of date of order of revocation. कुछ समझा कि नहीं? ओ नलायको. Okay? In simple case, बच्चों, this a relaxation has been given to the taxpayer because it's just not practically possible. He cannot. He will apply for revocation, but for applying for revocation, he cannot file returns. So he's applying for revocation. And now, whenever the officer will give order of revocation, after that order, within 30 days, you need to file now all the pending returns. Yes? Bolo, what doubt you have? No, he can apply. आगे सीख के हो भी गया इतने में। वो सॉफ्टवेयर का नाम क्या था? हैंड ब्रेक, हैंड ब्रेक। अरे पता है अपने को। अगर वो अप्लाई नहीं कर सकता फॉर रिवोकेशन विदाउट पेइंग टैक्स, देन रिवोकेशन कर नहीं, ही कैन अप्लाई, ही कैन अप्लाई, ही कैन अप्लाई विदाउट बीइंग एबल टू फाइल द रिटर्न्स, ही कैन अप्लाई। See, while applying, look at my wordings. Cannot file returns. Okay? He can apply for revocation, but he is unable to file returns. So he will request the officer that, see, bhai, this is what you have done with me. I am unable to comply with the filing of returns part. So I am applying for revocation. You give me again order of revocation. After that, again, then whatever is pending, I will file the returns. So ideally, this is not, you can say, recommended, from the officer's point of view. Ideally, he should say you file the returns. I mean, that's what ideally or normally he should give as of today, immediately. I mean, the date of order and with effect date should be generally same, normally same. So write down this example.
Recording stopped.
हुआ? लिखो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। हुआ? Everybody? Done, I hope now.
Recording in progress.
What are we doing? Check, I'll repeat. The ration budget has been cancelled with retrospective date. It is not possible to furnish the returns, है ना? Before filing the application for revocation. Clear till here? Still, he'll be allowed to file application for revocation, subject to the condition that, what condition? All returns related to the period from the effective date of cancellation till the date of order of revocation बच्चों will be filed within 30 days of order of revocation. कुछ समझा कि नहीं अभी? All of you tell me. हाँ, tell me. बोलो. So he is not able to. हाँ ठीक है. He is not able to बच्चों file returns, but still he can apply for revocation with the promise that he will file all the pending returns within 30 days of order. घुमा फिरा के this is law language ना बच्चों. This is what is legal language. The ration of, चलो let's take an example. ठीक है. The ration of Naman बच्चों was cancelled by officer by an order dated, order, I'm writing बच्चों order, cancel order is on 1st June for its failure to furnish returns. Okay. The ration बच्चों was cancelled बच्चों, my goodness, cancel with effect from 1st January, है ना, whatever may be the year. We had seen ना somewhere in the earlier law, if the returns are not filed for a period of 6 months, you can cancel the registration, है ना. Now understand from taxpayer's point of view, this he received a communication from the officer. So after 1st June, he will apply, taxpayer बच्चों will apply for revocation. Now normally when you apply for revocation, you file all the pending returns. But बच्चों in this case, he will not be able to file all the pending returns. Let us say the 6 months he is not filed. हाँ या ना? Which he'll apply for revocation. ठीक है? चलो. It applied for revocation or cancellation, and the order for revocation. ठीक है? I'm writing here now. Order again of revocation. Revocation order was passed when बच्चों? On let us say 31st July. Yes, Celia? Now, so common sense now, I hope you will be able to understand answer on your own. So from here, within 30 days, that is what, 30th August, what will you do? All returns, file all returns बच्चों from 1st June till what बच्चों? 31st July also, है ना? Till the date of बच्चों order of revocation. Whatever may be the returns pending, you need to file बच्चों up to 30th August. हाँ या ना? Clear till here or no? Everybody? पक्का? Good. You can write in your own language, I don't mind. You don't have to write exactly same language. No, not at all. The content should be correct, but okay. घूम फिर के, है ना, same thing only. I mean, what घूम फिर के means same thing again, repetitive. That within 30 days of order of revocation you have to file. चलेगा? Got it? UN holders cannot apply for revocation. Look at one more ad we have added here. GST practitioner. Something like bachcho we had in the income tax also. Income tax, what we had? TRP, we had TRP in income tax. Tax return preparer. We had that in chapter number 14. Okay. Tax return preparer, bachcho, we had that concept. Okay. So here also we have GST practitioner from GST point of view. Okay. They can't file for revocation. Even UN वगैरह, UN and all, UIN people, those who have UIN cannot apply for revocation. Fine. Then, in case of registration is cancelled on request of the taxpayer or his legal heir, suo motu, cancelled request of the taxpayer or legal heir, they cannot apply for revocation. That is time pass. Oops, done also? Wow. Covered also, one chapter is over also, है ना? Fine. So if some questions are pending, we'll check that. What is the responsibility of taxable person making supplies to UN bodies? This was not directly given. Let us check. 16 answer. Person making supply to UN bodies. The taxable supplier making supplies to UN bodies is expected to mention the UIN on the invoices and treat such supplies as supplies to another business, that is B2B. No problem. Basically, see, we have not done chapter of invoice, so you will not understand this properly. Okay? So whenever you're collecting taxes, normally, I'm again repeating the word normally, in normal B2B. So don't tell me, sir, but petrol pump or restaurant people don't take our GST. You don't have GST, that is one thing. But restaurant business is B2C, na? Business to customer, consumer, not B2B. Are you getting my point? So here, whenever a supplier is doing a supply to UIN, UN registered person, UN and all of that, embassy, etc. You need to mention that UIN on their outward supplies. Clear all of you? On the outward supplies. Fine? Fine. What happens when the registration is obtained by means of willful misrepresentation, misstatement, fraud, or suppression of facts? Liable for cancellation. Registration may be cancelled with retrospective effect. Okay? 29 to E. Small answers. Okay, fine. Done. 20. What could be the liability? We'll just do all the questions together. What could be the liabilities insofar as it is concerned on transfer of a business? Okay. Then, at the time of registration, will the assessee have to declare all his place of business? Yes. One as principal place of business, other as additional place of business. Does cancellation registration impose any tax obligations on the persons whose registration is so cancelled? Yes. Especially for ITC on the stock remaining. Hai na? So what is the question number 20 answer? In case of transfer. So let's quickly check whatever answers they have given. 20th. The transferee. What was question number 19? Separation in every state, that is okay. Huh? Transferee or successor shall be liable to be registered with effect from such transfer or succession, and will have to obtain a fresh registration with effect from the date on which such transfer or succession happens. This is what we had also seen in the case of amalgamation or something, na? The business is lump sum sold or legal heir, na? Gone here and there. Okay. Then the principal place of business and place of business have been separately defined. Principal place and place of business. The taxpayer will have to declare the principal place of business as well as additional place of business also. Hai na? Done? And what was question number 22? What was question number 22? Cancellation bachcho gives you any liability. Yes. As per 29.5. Every registered person whose registration is cancelled shall pay an amount. By how? Debiting your credit ledger or cash ledger. Debiting credit ledger or cash ledger. How much amount? Equal to credit of ITC or your stock, etc., or your capital goods, or okay, output tax payable on such goods, whichever is higher. Remember or no, bacho? Output tax on the transaction value, that is also covered, na? Yes, everybody. So that was what your chapter of what? Registration. Hai na? Done, everybody?
Recording stopped.
We'll continue, na? All of you. We'll do next chapter also. We'll start then. Chalega? Supplementary study paper. Wow, 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 wow. Go through this also. Download this, print out this. Okay, everybody. So, वही पे available. It's available on this. Let me get this with me. I'll share it on the group. ठीक है. GST May 23. All right, let's go to study material. चलेगा. शुड वी गो अहेड एवरीबॉडी? बोलो फटाफट. क्रिप्टो फ्यूचर. हाय.
Recording in progress.
Okay. A little bit comparatively lengthy chapter, but manageable. Again, not that tough. Okay. Two chapters are very, very small. Time of supply and value of supply. So not that again headache. Okay. So tax invoice, credit and debit notes. E-way bill also will understand. The word which you use is what? Tax invoice. Okay, everybody. Means it is, again it is a document or a proof based on which you are charging tax. That is one thing. Hi Anna. And again it is a document or a proof based on which the recipient can claim credit. Okay. Without this, but show the word tax, it is just a simple invoice, which is obviously for every commercial transaction invoice is given. But if it is a tax invoice, that means compulsorily it is a registered person giving the invoice. Hi Anna. And only on a valid, proper, genuine, authentic tax invoice you can claim credit. Again, that's why it is a sensitive issue. I told you last time only, na? Issuing fake invoices or issuing just simply invoices without actually issuing any goods or services, a big scheme or a racket fake. Hi Anna. So again, that's why you need to know what all should be covered or not covered in tax invoices. Okay. So tax invoice, credit or debit notes, prohibition of unauthorized collection of tax, amount of tax to be indicated on tax invoice and other documents, e-way bills, that all what you have to understand. Okay. You tell me what normally, what is there on an invoice? What all contents are there on the invoice? Date, name of the supplier, date. I'm talking of from who will give invoice? Seller, supplier. Yes. So name of the supplier, his brand, his company, this and that. Date, invoice number, contact number, purchase order number maybe. That means this supply is happening with reference to which purchase order. Correct. Amount, description of item. Hi Anna. It's amount before tax, then tax amount, correct, then whether it is CGST or IGST or what, total gross amount, then Details of the recipient, buyer. Important na, invoice is issued to a person na, isn't it? So details of the recipient, buyer you can say, or recipient, है ना? Then date and sign, yes. Discount if any, correct. Discount if voluntary. Yes, Celia? Done all of you. These are the basic things. So similarly on again your tax invoice, all these basic things should be appeared, okay? Date of shipment, mode of transport, prices and discounts, and delivery in payment terms. It is COD or not, है ना? Cash on delivery or prepaid, that also. Check. Issuing of invoice for every taxable transaction is a prerequisite, है ना? Without invoice, but you can't collect taxes. So it is supply of goods or provision of services. Supplying goods or providing services. An invoice is raised by supplier of such goods or services to the recipient. Invoice serves as a demand na, for payment, है ना? And becomes a document of title when paid in full. ठीक है? Means you have paid for the money, then that is a proof now that you become the owner. Alright? Same thing. It is essential document for the recipient to avail ITC, है ना? A registered person बच्चों cannot avail ITC unless he has a tax invoice or a debit note. Okay, important. So we'll be learning all of that in this chapter. Credit note, debit note, continuous supply, continuous services. No problem. Let's go ahead. We're dealing currently बच्चों with section 31. Till section 30 did we deal with registration or no then? Tell me. बोलो. From 22 to 30 बच्चों we did everything about registration. The central, obviously not central, but section 7 and 8 we have already covered in the chapter of supply. So 9 onwards is remaining. है ना बच्चों? So we started the journey from 22. I think around 45 or something are there. 45, 47 we have. Till 50. Something, not more than that. Yeah, by hearting of section in GST is very easy. No problem at all. Not that tough. In GST you can easily remember the section numbers. Yes. So we are talking about your invoices, and that is for your section 31. Okay? Ready? 30 was what? Revocation of cancellation. Na? Have we covered RCM also or no? Reverse charge mechanism. At least the basics of RCM we have covered. What is RCM? Did we cover or no? Reverse charge mechanism. We have covered, na bachcho? है ना? Okay. Can we go ahead, everybody? The provisions of tax invoice, they are all given under section 31. Okay? So tax invoice, what should come to your mind is always section 31. Okay? There is no format. Format is not given. Only certain fields have been prescribed as compulsory fields. That means those matters or content should be there. Designing you can do on your own. That is not an issue. Designing is not an issue. The content but should be completely given, clearly given. Okay? Yes, Celia? So tax invoice issued by a supplier. of taxable goods or services. Taxable, na? Tax invoice. So obviously we're talking of certain items, goods or services on which tax is applicable, leviable. A tax invoice should be issued by a registered person. Pay attention. Should be issued, shall be issued by a registered person only. That is a tax invoice. Unregistered person cannot issue tax invoice. Is it okay, everybody? Simple, na? Unregistered person, bachcho, it will be a very big crime to collect taxes on behalf of the government and using it if you don't have the power or authority. Hai na? So tax invoice shall be issued by a registered person supplying taxable goods or taxable services or both. That is also okay. Such tax invoice shall show the prescribed details. Okay? Now let us look at certain rules. Time limit for issuing of invoice. By when, bachcho, you should issue the invoice? Can you issue invoice before or during delivery or after delivery or what? There should be time, okay? And if you're also right now talking of delivery, what about service? Before service, at the time of service or after service? Hai na? So these things you have to understand. So section 31, 1, 2, 4 and 5. Read with rule 47. Okay? The time for issuing an invoice would depend on the nature of supply. Whether you're supplying goods or services. Both concept bachcho does not come into picture now. Means what? You may be bachcho supplying both goods and services like works contract and restaurant. But that is the reason we have schedule 2 now. Schedule 2 bachcho clear cut gives a bifurcation between goods and services. Clear till here? So even if practically both of them are being supplied together, goods and services, but for GST purposes, we have categorized them only in goods or services. Did you understand? So accordingly, rules will apply on them, goods or services. Okay? Chalo. A registered person supplying goods shall issue a tax invoice before or at the time of removal of goods. Property does not pass, remember or no? In sale of goods that also we had seen. Okay? The risk does not pass to the buyer till the goods are in the possession of the seller only. Yes or no? Anyways, by what time but you should issue the invoice? Before or at the time of removal of goods. Where supply involves movement of goods, no doubt about it. Hai na? Or in any other case, before or at the time of delivery or making available thereof to the recipient. That means if you are moving the goods, means you have taken the bachcho responsibility of delivering it till the location of recipient, then before removal bachcho, you should issue the invoice. Hai na? But if the supplier, if the recipient is going to come and collect the delivery, hai na? Then when should you issue the invoice? Before again handing over the goods to the recipient. Understood or no, all of you tell me? Is it okay? One and the same thing basically. Before the delivery goes to the buyer, or before parting with the possession of the goods, the supplier should issue the invoice. Is it okay? Yes, Celia? In case of supply of taxable services, here which we saw about goods, I think we have a table in the next page also. On or before removal of goods, keep that in mind. But what about service? Pay attention, we have your time. In case of supply of taxable services, tax invoice may be issued before or after the provision of, provision means providing of services, but within a specified period. Okay? Check when bachcho, before or after, that is okay. But if you do after, also after providing of services, then within a certain time period. Okay? Government may notify the categories of services in respect of which any other document is issued in relation to supply shall be deemed to be a tax invoice, or even a tax invoice may not be issued. I'll give you an example. Basically, a replacement of tax invoice. A proper tax invoice may not be given as per section 31. A proper tax invoice may not be given as per section 31. Okay? Let us say बच्चों you are doing an interstate travel by railways first class AC. Interstate travel by railways first class AC. GST is applicable. Okay, everybody? Or you are doing again interstate travel, let us say by bus, है ना, by bus. You have booked a private bus and all of that. GST बच्चों is again applicable. Now they will not give you a formal proper invoice. Especially railways. Railways बच्चों gives you a ticket, railway ticket. हाँ है ना? Isn't it? You go for movie. Do you get an invoice? You get a movie ticket. Correct, all of you? You go for again stadium, any kind of event on a circus or cricket match. You go to stadium, you make an entry. Concerts. You are paying much of fees and amounts. The tax as such or the amount is mentioned in that admit hall itself, that admit card itself. Okay, on the ticket itself. So the ticket is as good as invoice. Clearly your laundry bill, laundry receipt is tax invoice. Clear all of you? So there can be cases where a proper as per the format tax invoice is not given, but any other document is given, and that any other document which will be deemed to be a tax invoice. Is it okay? Because practically we don't issue up another separate document for that. Okay? Fine, no? The government may, on recommendation of the council, by notification, specify the category of goods or services supplies in respect of which a tax invoice shall be issued within such time and such manner. Forget that. Chalo. Ready? Look at the provisions. In case of taxable supply of goods, look at the columns. We have column wise. Goods, services. So, in case of taxable supply of goods, invoice shall be issued before or at the time of removal of goods, है ना? For the supply to the recipient, where the goods involves movement of goods, where the supply involves movement of goods. You buy TV, fridge, laptop, steel, iron, automobile, anything you can think of, ring light. I'm talking of even manufacture IC, screws, nuts, bolts, adhesives, whatever you can think of. है ना? Paper, machine, whatever. है ना? So but in this case, the goods are transported from one location to another location. So on or before removal of goods, you should issue the invoice. Clear till here? When the supply involves movement of goods, है ना? Fine. In any other case, delivery of goods or making available thereof to the recipient. In any other case, let us say, I have a furniture at my home, है ना? I have many homes. Let us say, I'm just giving you an example. And I told the buyer that this furniture I want to sell. So I tell him, you come and take it. Or I am selling the house itself. Are you getting my point? I am selling the house itself. So along with the house, I am selling the goods also or furniture also stored in that house. I am selling the house, and along with that I am also selling the furniture. So is the furniture moving now from one location to another? No. But am I making it available or no to the buyer? Yes. The same thing. So delivery of goods or making available to the recipient. By that time, है ना? By that time, I should issue the invoice. Finally, all of you, है ना? So the buyer will come and take the delivery, or the goods are not moving and buyer is using it. That is that by that time we should issue the invoice. Is it okay? In case of, I'm still in the same column. In case of continuous supply of goods, continuous supply of goods, है ना? Goods so we, no, not that. Okay, that is also fine. But something, let us say, we use on 24/7 basis, internet or electricity. हाँ है ना? It is not single transaction. Isn't it, everybody? है ना? It is not a single transaction. We are using it on 24/7 basis. Now the electricity or the internet may be service, that is not an issue. Okay, electricity which may be goods or service, that depends on the categorization. Internet is definitely what service, yes or no? Similarly, there may be cases where continuously you are supplying goods. Goods I'm saying. Okay everybody? Water, I'm just giving you example. Water is a good or service? It is a good. It may not be taxable, that is something separate. But again, you are using water 24/7. You are being supplied with water 24/7. Hi Anna. Again, maybe again, depends on home to home, city to city. There is a bunch of continuous supply of natural gas at home. That yellow pipeline, if at all you have seen, maybe. In city areas, it is available. Correct. That yellow pipeline. Yellow maybe, at least here I see yellow. So that is connected to a hub, and then from that hub it is given to your home. You just switch that whatever point you have, that tap. It is continuous supply of goods only. Maybe in gaseous state, who cares? It has a meter and all, correct? Yeah, it has a meter inside, correct? Yes, still all of you? So this will be treated as continuous supply of goods. Okay. So we'll look at that example also. What is the continuous supply of goods? Okay. Even oil companies transfer from one location to another through a pipeline, if at all you have heard. Next to highways or beneath the highways, there are big pipelines, bacho, transferring these oil or petrol or diesel also, okay, from one location to another. Check here. Come to this point, 232. Continuous supply of goods. Star mark this. Ready? The supply of goods which is provided or agreed to be provided continuously or on a recurrent basis. Now you are correct. Milk, newspaper. On these, GST is not applicable, but still. So you have had a contract that you have to provide this on a regular basis. Or let us say a restaurant person, restaurant owner. This page number is what? 8.4. Or a restaurant owner. He has a contract with vendors, lots of vendors, that daily in morning I want milk, fresh vegetables, meat, then this and that, oil, etc. That is what? Again a contract for the entire year only. Clear everybody? Vada pav, samosa, snacks items, whatever. Now, again I'm repeating, if at all you go to these malls or cinema halls, they have a tie with vendors. Now they don't have a kitchen over there as such. Not all of them have a kitchen over to all of them over there, in all the cinema halls. So they have a tie with the vendors that every morning and every afternoon, 4 o'clock, whatever, you have to supply me 100 samosa, vada pav, whatever. Everybody? So that is again what a continuous supply of goods. So continuously, literally continuously, or on a recurrent basis. But obviously under a contract, under a contract. Whether or not by means of wire, so you may or you may not use, okay, cable, internet for example, or electricity, pipeline, yes, or through other conduit also. Conduit means same. Conduit means mode of supply, any other method of supply. So whether or not by means of a wire, cable, pipeline, or even other conduit. Okay everybody? Done. And next, you don't have this point in your study material. 8.4. Nitin, what point you don't have? क्या नहीं है? What is not there?
Recording stopped.
How come?
So वेदर वाला है ना, वेदर और नॉट बैंडनेस ऑफ वायर केबल पाइपलाइन वाला,
हाँ
वो उतना नहीं है।
देखना पड़ेगा। ठीक है विल सी, मेरे को फोटो भेज देना बाद में। दोनों का एडिशन सेम है ना, नितिन और खुशबू का एडिशन भी सेम रहेगा। मैंने भी लेटेस्ट ही डाउनलोड किया है। ठीक है, और एज इट इज वेदर और नॉट, सो डज नॉट मैटर।
Recording in progress.
Okay. And for which the supplier invoices the recipient on regular or periodic basis. Just like milk, newspaper, your electricity purchase done on monthly basis, internet is done on monthly basis, your gas pipeline we discussed monthly basis. Hi Anna. And includes supply of such goods as government may, subject to such condition, forget that, whatever government may notify, that can also be treated as continuous supply of goods. So what are the bunch of conditions? Again, continuously or recurrent basis goods are supplied under a contract by any mode, any methods. Yes, Celia? And the supplier generates regularly invoices, है ना? On a regular or a periodic basis, monthly, quarterly, etc. That is what your continuous supply of goods. Okay? So in that case, by when you should raise an invoice? In case of continuous supply of goods. Pay attention. Where successive statements of accounts or successive payments are involved. Successive means what? One after another. So regularly, successively, you are raising statements. Successive statements of accounts. Basically, you are raising a bill regularly. Okay? And there are regular payments also involved. The invoice shall be issued before or at the time each such statement is issued. Statement I'm talking about. Statement means what? Consumption details. है ना? Consumption, or basically I'm using the word accounts. है ना? हिसाब किताब means what? How much have you used? Just shows the details. Correct? So again, before or at the time of issuing such bill, I'm using the word accounts. Let me use the word accounts. Okay? The statement of accounts different and invoice different. Statement of accounts means what? You have utilized so many units, or you utilized so much of goods. And invoice is the actual bill or the demand for that payment. Clear? So before or at the time each such statement is issued or each such payment is received. Okay, till here? Or each such payment is received. Done, everybody? Let us check one-on-one examples. Some examples of the goods. Ritu manufactures Delhi, supplies goods to Prakhar Electronics, Haryana. The goods were removed from its factory in Delhi on 20th September. The invoice has to be issued on, or the invoice has to be dated. When I say issued means what? Dated also. On or before 23rd September. Clear earlier, all of you? Look at the logic. Goods, invoices. Hi Anna. And now based on invoice, your liability will arise when you have to pay the tax. Who will have to pay the tax? Ritu or Prakhar? Pay the tax to the government, I'm saying. Pay the tax to the government. Pay the tax to the government. Yes, Nitin. You can send invoice before also, no problem. Who is going to pay the tax to the government? Tell me, all of you. To the government. Ritu, no? Yes or no? Prakhar will pay to Ritu and Ritu will pay to the government. Na bachcho? Clearly here? Now there may be an issue also in your mind. What if Prakhar does not pay to Ritu and Ritu has to pay to the government? That is also a problem. And you have obviously seen the concept of credit sales. Yes or no? You have also seen the concept of bad dates. So all these things will also come into picture. समझा all of you? Clear till here everybody? That we will do later on, so no issue about it. I'm just checking whether we have some questions. Sir, in some cases, in some company, they pay us with GST also, and we pay the GST to the government. Obviously, every time the buyer pays with GST only, or he may have taken some credits, or he may have paid an installment. Okay, that also you have to see when is the payment done. I'll tell you, the supplier has to pay to the government. The government doesn't care whether you are able to recover or not recover. Okay, the supplier has to, if there is a credit sales, if you issued invoice and it is a credit sale, government says it is your headache. We want our tax money immediately. Okay, and yeah, if there is actual bad debt, then there is a relief given also. Okay. Sultan Industries Limited, Delhi, entered into contract with Prakash Enterprises, Delhi only, for supply of spare parts of a machine on 7th September, entered into contract. The spare parts were to be delivered on 30th September, Sultan removed the finished spare parts work from its factory on 29th September, determine the date by which invoice must be issued, on or before 29th September. Is it okay? On or before 29th September. Because supply involves movement of goods. That's why invoice needs to be issued on or before time of removal of goods. Clear, everybody? Can I go ahead? This is service. Fine. We'll go back to the concept. Come back here. So goods we understood, bacho. So goods you can have three things: removal of goods, no movement of goods, and continuous supply of goods. Clear till here? And service. Coaching, CA, CMA, engineer, doctor. Doctor doesn't invoice. They don't tax. No. है ना? Your movie, cinema hall, events, concerts. Medicine is a basic necessity, so no tax on basic necessities. I'm talking of GST, not income tax. Doctors pay a lot of income tax, no doubt, but no GST. Architectural engineering services, consultants, right? Your parlors of massage parlor and all of that, parlors, barber, salon, garage repair. I mean, garage can come under two things: goods as well as services. But again, labor provided. Yes, restaurant, service. है ना? So anywhere, बच्चों, there can be in case of taxable supply of services. ठीक है? Invoice shall be issued before or after the supplying of service. Okay, provision means supplying of service, but max within 30 days from the date of supply of service. So, bachcho, for service, you can issue before or during service, but maximum, bachcho, what? After 30 days. Maximum up to, you can say, within, you should supply 30 days of supply of service or provision of service. Clear till here, everybody? If the supplier is a bank, okay, check. In case of an insurer, insurance company, or a banking company, bank, or a financial institution, including NBFC, they can issue bachcho invoice within 45 days from the date of supply of service. What supply, bachcho? Insurance is also service only, na? Providing insurance, tax applicable. Banking services, yes. Check issue, demand draft, NEFT, RTGS, bachcho, and all of that. ट्रांसफर ऑन ऑल ऑफ दैट बच्चों, बैंक बाउंस चार्जेस, एवरीथिंग, एनीथिंग बैंक से लेवी बच्चों चार्जेस. हाँ या ना बच्चों? क्लियर? So, and NBFC, same thing, provision of services. Provision of which service बच्चों? Giving of loan is a service. Providing of credit or loan advances is a service. Or some other activities or some other services they might have given. For that बच्चों they have to give what? Within 45. They can issue invoice within 45 days. Okay? Check. An insurer or a banking company or a financial institution including NBFC or a telecom operator. Again, they have large. What is common between all of them? Are you understanding? What do you think? What is common between all of them? Insurance company, banking company, including NBFC, telecom operator. They are all providing service. Again, what is common between them? What do you think? Service, yes. What else? Telecom operator. Are you understanding? Example: Airtel, Vivo, Jio, whatever. V and what Jio and all of that. What is common between insurance company, banking company, NBFC, and telecom companies? What do you think? Like any guess? They are charging money obviously for providing service. What else? What is common? They are not doing free of cost. Obviously, that is all taxable. I may be teaching 1,000 students or 100 students, है ना? Or maybe 5,000 students in a batch. Maybe. Governed by special act, telecom companies, banking, insurance, I agree. Okay. But these services or these service providers, they have a huge database or a huge, you can say what should I say? Basket of customers, or you can say customers. Huge number of customers, isn't it? You pick any company, let us say Bajaj Life Insurance, okay? I don't know that company is there or not, but okay. Now, how many insurance policies, but that one single, it is a single company, na? Bajaj Insurance, whatever, that life insurance company or insurance company, it is one single company. So, service provider obviously is one, but service recipients can be how many? Thousands and lakhs, bacho, at a time, isn't it, everybody? At least lakhs maybe. NBFC bank, you tell me, bacho, bank, isn't it, everybody? Even from, let us even if you pick up one single branch also, for every branch you can do separate registration and all of that. But every branch also, bacho, will have at least 1,000 or 1,000 customers, at least. Okay, bacho? Telecom companies, hardly 3 or 4 are remaining in country now. Hai na? Now telecom bacho, maybe internet also, I don't know, but whatever. But again, they have to have in crores. है ना? Their customers in crores, isn't it, everybody? Yes, if I take cumulative बच्चों, these, correct, these industries, or even if you pick up ICICI Bank, let us, I'm just giving for example, because I think India number 2 or India number 3 bank, maybe 3 now, HDFC may be up now, whatever. How many customers they may have? ICICI Bank बच्चों will have definitely more than crore customers in cumulative, I'm seeing. One single bank, but hi Anna. Agreed, understood SBI. So you are understanding. So basically they have a huge number of service recipients. Huge number of service recipients. This much you understood? Okay. So check. So that was just the concept I was trying to make you understand what is common between these people. So an insurance or banking company or NBFC or telecom operator or other class of companies as may be notified by government making taxable supplies of services between distinct persons as specified in section 25. Who are the distinct persons? Do you remember? Okay. SBI has 45 crore customers, okay, or accounts or whatever, yeah. So, bachcho, these people are making taxable supplies of services between distinct persons. Who were bachcho, a distinct person? Do you remember? Section 25, tell me quickly. Bolo fatafat. Tell me बच्चों, who are distinct persons under section 25? Nobody? You have done that, no, already, or no? No. Distinct persons under section 25, we have covered that bachcho concept little bit. We have already covered section 25. Yeah, we have covered. All your branches bachcho, all your branches having a separate GST IN. Correct. Understood? Yeah, will be treated as distinct persons. So even if you're belonging from one head office only, but you are a different branch having different GST IN, you will be treated as different person only, na? So if let us say one branch is giving some service to another branch. Are you getting my point? One branch is giving service to another branch. Okay, one branch to another branch. Clear? May issue invoice. Because it is a supply, na? I hope you remember, from one branch to another branch is also taken as supply. Okay, may issue the invoice before or at the time such supplier records the same in his books of accounts, or that means whatever supply he makes in his books of accounts, that, or before the expiry of the quarter ending date, before the expiry of the quarter during which the supply was made. So entry in the books of account or quarter ending date, whichever is earlier. I'll repeat, bachu. What is the transfer? Branch to branch. By when you can issue the invoice? Entry made in the books of accounts or quarter ending date, whichever is earlier. Clear all of you? Fine. And secondly, 45 days bachcho are given to whom? Instead of 30 days normally also. To a customer, because they have, again the same example, because they have a huge database, huge customer base. That's why they are giving more time compared to little bit more compared to others. Take it, everybody. In case of continuous supply of services, again, what bachcho? Services continuously. Security services, security bachcho. Again 20 for the entire year. Hai na? Then what? I give you example, internet, continuous supply of services. Yes, everybody? Fine. So let us go back to the definition of continuous supply of services. Same thing. This is there or not there, Khushbu, now? Supply of services which is provided or agreed to be provided continuously or again on recurrent basis under a contract, but for a period minimum of 3 months, bachcho. Okay? That means if you've done you can say contract for 15 days, 1 month, 2 month max, it will not be taken as continuous supply of services. That contract has to be of bachcho more than 3 months for a period exceeding 3 months. Okay? With periodic payment obligation. That means weekly, monthly, quarterly you will make the payment. And includes the supplies notified by government, forget that. But just important is what bachcho? Continuous supply of services, hi Anna, but for more than 3 months. The contract bachcho has to be of minimum 3 months. Clear? Khushbu, you must be checking this definition, maybe by mistake. Nahi na? Goods is separate and service is separate. I thought only. She's saying yes only, check. I thought so. I thought I'll tell her that time only, but I'm like, I thought she's not that dumb, no? Hai na? She must have gone here only, continuous. And that time she did not even have a doubt that I'm doing service, talking about goods. No. Then she thought that gas is a service. Hai na? Newspaper and milk is what? Service. Hai na? No. Okay? Newspaper, gas, milk, everything was goods only, continuously supplied. Now I'm talking of service supplied. Okay? The contract budget should be of more than 3 months. What about your rent agreement? Tell me now. This though you should understand now. I entered into a rent agreement contract of my shop. Let us say I have a commercial shop. I entered into a agreement of 11 months. That is a continuous supply of service. Allowing use of immovable property. Allowing use of immovable property is what? Service only. Ayana. So I'm allowing them to stay, or I have entered into a contract for more than 3 months. It is a continuous supply of service. Ayana. Warehouse facility and providing warehouse facility service. So I entered into agreement. Locker services. You can understand the term. It is what? Service. Clear? So in normal case, when you supply service, by when but you should issue the invoice? Normal case, single service, not continuous service. Maximum, very good. Maximum within 30 days. Maximum within 30 days. Before is also allowed, yes. Before is obviously allowed. But after you provide the service, then within 30 days. Okay? Sure. Come back to page 8.9. In case of continuous supply of services. Okay, everybody? Where due date of payment can be found out from the contract. So it is given in the contract. So generally, let us see if I have given my shop on the rent. Do I mention or know the rent payable date? Bolo. I do. Hi, na bachcho. Yes, clear all of you. So the date is mentioned in the contract. What is the due date of payment? If the due date is mentioned in the contract, or it can be found out from the contract. So by when you should issue the invoice? On or before the due date of payment. Okay? On or before the due date of payment. Then, due date of payment is not ascertainable from the contract. Okay, due date is not given clearly in the contract. Then, before or at the time when the supplier of service receives the payment. So, before or at the time of receiving of payment. So, if due date is there, on or before due date. If due date is not there, on or before receipt of payment. Hi, na. And payment is linked to the completion of an event. Works like works contract. Yes, Celia? I'll make furniture for you. I'll make this goods for you. I'll make the building for you. Hai na? That is obviously a continuous supply of services, renovation, decoration of your room, whatever. So payment is linked to the completion of an event. Okay? Or any actual event is going on. Payment will get after the event. Hai na? So, on or before the date of completion of that event, you need to issue the invoice. On or before the date of completion of that event. Yes, Celia, all of you? Done? Take an example here. Katyani security services. Labor, supply of labor is continuous supply of service only. Yeah? Supply of labor. So Katyani Services Limited provides security services to royal jewelers. Provide security services to royal jewelers for the jewelry exhibition to be organized on 5th October. Is it continuous supply of service? The exhibition is there on 5th October. For that exhibition, you are providing security services. It is not a continuous supply of service because it is not a contract of more than 3 months. Understood, Kushbu? Katyani Security Services needs to issue a tax invoice within 30 days of supply of service. That means they supplied the service on 5th. Hai na? They may have entered into contract before only. Contract is before only. But provided services on 5th. So after 5th, within 30 days, you need to issue the invoice. Okay, so 5th October plus 30 days. Done till here, all of you? Sure. That is it for today, or at least for this lecture. And then we'll go ahead. Okay, this will be also take a little bit more time. Okay, this chapter will also take time when we go for everything, do everything. In case if a due date arises and invoice not made, then penalties, interest, everything. You know? That all we have to see, no? We'll have to see that. All the non-compliances part we have to see. चलेगा? ऑलराइट बड़ी, ठीक है, चलो दैट्स इट फॉर टुडे बच्चों, है ना. विल कंटिन्यू विद दिस चैप्टर इन द नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. ओके,
Recording stopped.
यूट्यूब वालों लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब एंड कमेंट, है ना.